Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at Scottie Scheffler. So he's a #1 player in the world, #1 in the data golf rankings. He's multiple PGA Tour winner. He's a major winner. He's a multiple Ryder Cup player, and he's just an absolute player. He's been a force to be reckoned with on the PGA Tour for the best part of 4 years, but it was the 2023 season that was just sensational. To put it into perspective, guys, his scoring average last year was 68.63, which is the 7th best scoring average in PGA Tour history. And the only other person that's beaten him, so the person that occupies places 1 to 6 on that table, is Tiger Woods, the great man himself. So I'll just leave that little nugget with you. The best player tee to green since Tiger Woods. Truly remarkable stuff. So pretty unique move from Scottie Scheffler. It's definitely not a modern day golf swing. It's definitely not something that, would be taught, I think, by most local professionals. But my God, does it work for him? And he's just so well matched up with some of the idiosyncrasies in his swing. So let's just have a quick look at some of these key movements from Scottie. So we'll just draw one down the line of the shaft. Thing that you're going to notice about Scottie as we take it away is he works the hands and the club a little bit more inside than most players. So, the camera angle is probably a little bit off here. So his club head is, probably in quite a flush position with his hands at P2. But, from this position, he's going to want to start to get it a little bit more behind him in the backswing. And Scottie Scheffler is what's known as an on-top golfer. And on-top golfers tend to want to keep their right arm sort of on top of the shaft as they work into backswing. And generally speaking, they have a typical movement pattern, which is to get that right arm folding back behind them and into this position at the top here. So, right arm way behind him, right elbow way behind the trail hip socket there. Some of the best in the game, or some of the best of all time, have got into this position. So Jack Nicklaus was an on-top golfer. Rory McIlroy is an on-top golfer. There's plenty of people who have played pretty sensational golf. So he gets to the top. He's got, fairly high lead arm, I would say. The club shaft actually sort of works across the line a little bit, which is fairly unusual to see. The modern day player, they're usually a little bit more laid off. What's really nice though about Scotty is he's kind of got, the angle of the club face sort of perfectly matching the lead arm angle. So that's really nice. Thing about Scotty is he has quite a lot of, I would say, steepening moves. So let's just sort of bring this back here, and we're just going to trace his hand path up to the top of the swing, and we'll just see something, a little bit funky. So it comes into here, and what Scotty's going to do when he gets to the top of the backswing, he does have a slight shallowing move, but what's again really quite unique is, his hand path is going to work way outside of the original hand path, which is, a steepener on the shaft. And he does steepen that shaft on the way down as well. So, he gets it sort of pointing, pretty much in line with the ball, a little bit outside, whereas most tour players are kind of, pointing in this direction. So it's pretty steep for tour standard. And the other thing is, maybe we just switch to the face-on view here. As he rotates into the top of the backswing, what's really unusual is he gets to the top and a lot of players here, and we saw this with Colin Morikawa, before they even finish the backswing, they'll start shifting with the lower body, shifting with the pelvis. But Scotty, and I don't think I've ever seen this in any players before, he kind of shifts with his upper body and leaves his lower body there a little bit. I don't know if you can just see that. And again, that's like a steepening move. And I've measured this on Sportsbox AI, which is a great tool, guys. If you've not come across it, get it on your phone. It's absolutely amazing. And I've measured this, and what you can actually see is, if you to draw a line in the center of the pelvis and the center of the chest and measure the sway gap, he's actually in a positive number with his sway gap here. And usually it's the opposite. So, you'd have tour players where, we can probably just, can show you. We got Adam Scott here. Just draw a line at the top of the backswing. So he's going to shift the pelvis through, but keep this kind of, his chest more behind his lower body. And that's like a shallowing move, whereas Scotty does, totally the opposite. It's, it's pretty interesting. And then when he starts to shift back down, that's where the lower body comes in. But if we just take this back and have a look from down the line again. So, he gets to the top here. He's across the line. He's going to bring his hands out, which is a steepening move. The shaft is coming in pitched quite steep. He's moved his upper body towards the target without moving his lower body, which is a steepener. So he's got 3 steepening moves here, and he's got to try and find some way to shallow the club. And the main way that Scottie Scheffler does it is by really starting to extend and push up with his lead side. So what you can see here, he doesn't have, an awful lot of side bend coming into the shot. If you look at, see if we can find one. So if you look at someone like Tommy Fleetwood, as he comes into the shot, just have a look at how much side bend this guy's got. Someone that, really sort of shallows it out in transition. A lot of really, really good players have this sort of characteristic, but Scotty stays quite tall throughout the shot. But what he's going to have to do to get that club shallowing into impact, he's almost stand up through his lead side. And, we can probably see it a little bit better here with the face on angle. So I'll bring it to the top. It starts to work down. What we're going to do is just draw a couple of lines onto his pelvis. So, he's steep at this point. Now he starts to bump his lower body, and then he's going to have to really, really extend through that lead side as he comes into impact. And that's really the only way that he's going to be able to sort of shallow that club. The the other thing to notice with Scotty is he has so much lateral shift. He has so much lateral shift coming into the ball. Tour average is basically when you get your half of your lead leg coming through the wall there, the yellow line. And he manages to get pretty much all of his leg through the wall coming into impact. It's just a massive amount of shift to his lead side. It's it's really, really impressive. Even on the way down, look at his head movement there. It kind of dips, crashes through the wall there, whereas a lot of players will sort of stay behind it a little bit more. He's shifted a lot. And then what you're going to see with Scotty is this kind of signature move. And it's incredible footwork when you think about it, but he has to move, just draw a line. He has to move, this trail foot and get it off the ground. If he doesn't, he can't get into his lead side. And if he can't get into his lead side, he can't shallow it, at the bottom. And if he can't shallow at the bottom, it's just not going to hit any good golf shots. So, he just has to... he has to do that with his feet. What's quite good is coming into impact with Scotty is, you'd expect this from all world-class ball strikers. What's he got there? He's probably got about 9 degrees of shaft lean. But, the thing that I like to see is tour players just sort of maintaining this angle, this triangle, through the shot. It's... there's not an awful lot of face rotation coming through into the finish there, and you can kind of see this from down the line. As his club head exits sort of underneath his shoulder, you can see that face just isn't rotating. It's kind of pointing, you know, left, if not slightly back at the camera. So really stable and passive release. But it's, you know, it's an incredible movement. I mean, again, if you take this swing to your local PGA Tour, PGA Pro, he's going to absolutely tear it apart. But it works for Scotty. Interesting. Scotty is way behind on his putting for the last 6 months. So, you know, tee to green is still absolutely incredible. If this guy can learn to putt, I'm telling you, he's got a couple more majors in him this year. Thanks for stopping by, guys, checking out the channel. If you haven't already, feel free to hit the like and subscribe button. Comment down below if you want to see any swings in particular. We'll be back with more swing tips and swing videos very soon.